Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 3, which is entitled as Karma Yoga, Sloka 35. Shreyan swadharmo vihunaha paradharmat swanustitat swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Having explained who those two unconquerable enemies are in the previous sloka, they are Raga and Dvesha. Now here in the sloka, Krishna says method to watch out about them in a way how we can win them. How can an unconquerable enemies like Raga and Dvesha be conquered? The short answer is by sticking on to one's practices. That's the short answer that we get from this particular sloka. That's a method where we can conquer Raga and Dvesha. So for this sloka, there are two different views given. There are two different views for this sloka. One view is, it's all based on this a term called paradharma, swadharma and paradharma. One view is the paradharma mentioned here is as per varnashrama, where the second view is the paradharma which is mentioned here is jnana yoga. Of course, each views have their own valid reasoning to see this in such way. We will see both the views. They both are wonderful. First, paradharma per varnashrama. Let's take that point. Krishna says whatever dharma is prescribed by the Vedas in terms of varna ashrama, even if one does incompletely, lacking some elements, is better than executing a different dharma, even if that dharma, other dharma is executed completely with all parts. And that is the meaning from this particular sloka. For instance, the natural dharma of a Brahmana is non-violence, and that of a Kshatriya is fighting. So, even if Kshatriya fighting is incomplete, he benefits out of it. But if he tries to give up his fighting nature, dharma, and takes up dharma of a Brahmana and tries to do perfectly, still he is in danger. The reason he is in danger because it causes misfortune for that person by creating sin. Why? Because this is prohibited in the Shastra, scriptures. Therefore, one sticks on to their dharma, not taking others' dharma. By taking others' dharma, they are doing adharma, not dharma. Therefore, it's going to create sin for them, in which way they are going to get into danger. That's the first view. The second view of the sloka is based on reading Arjuna's mind. Now, Arjuna is thinking that karma yoga requires a lot of details to perform any action perfectly. If any elements are missed in karma yoga, it will not get the siddhi, the right outcome of that karma that the person is performing. Therefore, Arjuna is thinking, it is better to do jnana yoga as there are not much factors and elements involved in this process rather than doing the karma yoga, which means he wants to take up giving up swadharma of his dharma of doing karma yoga and take paradharma or the duty of someone else, which is jnana yoga. That's the second view. So the response to this by Krishna is not to worry. Even if you miss something out while you are doing Karma Yoga, any of those elements, is perfectly fine. Then, if you take up Jnana Yoga and try to do it perfectly, without any mistakes, that's what Krishna is saying. Even if you do Jnana Yoga perfectly by giving up your Karma Yoga, still, that is not the right thing to do. Whereas doing Karma Yoga imperfectly or incompletely than trying to do Jnana Yoga perfectly is better. Arjuna is wondering how come. The reason how come that's better. Karma Yoga is greater, even with mistakes. It's very simple. The answer is Karma Yoga is yours. Jnana Yoga is not yours. Karma Yoga is your Swadharma, whereas Jnana Yoga is Paradharma, someone's not yours. Let's see how that is. In general, people will be very comfortable doing what they've been doing, what they've been skilled to do, what they've been experienced in their life. Even if if they are sick, they can get that work done without any difficulties because those works they've been used to it. Whereas those things, if they are not familiar and comfortable with, even if they are healthy, they feel sick to do it. Karma Yoga is very comfortable for you, Arjuna, and in fact for everyone, whereas Jnana Yoga is not comfortable. Further, Krishna explains how it is greater in the second part of the sloka. This sloka, Swadharme Nidhanam Shrayaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. That is, say, if someone, before attaining Atma Darshan, if one dies, Nidhanam, dies. Likewise, if someone, a Jnana Yogi, dies before achieving the Atma Darshan, there's a variation between these two. Let me repeat this. The person who is performing Karma Yoga before attaining the Atma Darshana, he dies. What's going to happen to him? Likewise, if a person who is performing Jnana Yoga, he dies before achieving the Atma Sakshatkara, which is seeing the Atma. So what is the result for this person? If the first person dies, that's a Karma Yogi dies without having Atma Darshana, he doesn't need to worry about it. Whereas the Jnana Yogi dies before having the Atma Darshana, he need to worry about it. It's going to create a fear for him. Why so? It's because the person who has developed the practice by Karma Yoga, when he dies, his vasanas of those practice will remain within him. And therefore he can immediately pick up the Karma Yoga in his next life without any difficulty. And starting from where he left, where he stopped, he can begin very quickly. Little bit of startup is needed. After that, he's going to take it up. Whereas when the Jnana Yogi dies, he can't start directly Jnana Yoga. Any babies who's born, they are not going to perform Jnana Yoga. They have to do their karma, practice Karma Yoga, and then finally qualify to take up Jnana Yoga. So again, everything has to start over for Jnana Yogi, because that's not part of his vasana. Everything should start from scratch. There's no choice for him. In this way, a karma yoga is safer even if a person does not complete in that lifetime. So we also have to understand that karma yoga or jnana yoga, by practicing them, not that they will get atma darshana in the same lifetime. It might take for one to practice karma yoga many lifetime to attain atma darshan. Likewise, the jnana yoga as well. It's a constant practice. So from this sloka, to summarize, we understand that a person has to do is dharma, swadharma, rather than following someone else's dharma. Even if a person who is following swadharma could not complete it, he benefits out of it. Whereas if a person who giving up his swadharma, is natural dharma, prescribed dharma, and takes up someone else's dharma, that person is in danger. Shreyan swadharmo vihunaha paradharmat swanustitat swadharme nidanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Namaste. Hare Krishna.